If you're over 60 and you've noticed that a simple walk leaves you winded, that your pants are getting tighter, or that your cravings for sweet things have turned into an endless loop, you may be battling a silent foe, insulin resistance. Pause! The good news is that you can reverse this condition in just a week with 5 science-backed actions you can start right now. Stay until the end. The 5th tip will change everything. I'm Dr. Anna Martinez, a metabolic specialist with 20 years of experience helping seniors reclaim their vitality. When we talk about insulin resistance, we're talking about a situation where your cells stop listening to insulin. Glucose builds up in the bloodstream, triggering chronic inflammation, weight gain, and eventually type 2 diabetes if left unchecked. But why does this problem become so common after 60? The answer lies in a combination of age-related muscle loss, a more sedentary lifestyle, hormonal shifts, and a diet that is often low in fiber and high in refined carbohydrates. These factors together create a perfect storm that desensitizes insulin receptors. Now, let's move from theory to practice. The next 5 steps are the ones that research shows can reverse insulin resistance faster than any medication. If you're ready to feel younger again, give this video a like. It lets the algorithm know we're delivering real value. First, reset the morning glucose spike. Many seniors start the day with a sugary coffee cream combo that sends glucose soaring within minutes. That spike forces the pancreas to dump a huge dose of insulin, and over time, those repeated surges wear down the receptors. It's like shouting at a dog until it stops responding. Replace that habit with black coffee, a pinch of cinnamon, and a protein-rich snack such as a boiled egg or Greek yogurt. Cinnamon has been shown to improve insulin signaling by upregulating GLUT4 transporters, while protein helps stabilize blood sugar and keeps you feeling full until lunch. Notice the difference after a few days. You'll feel steadier, your cravings will mellow, and your energy will last longer. Second, move your muscles before you move your feet. Resistance training is the single most powerful tool for restoring insulin sensitivity in older adults. When you engage in strength exercises, you stimulate muscle fibers to take up more glucose without needing extra insulin. Aim for 2 sessions per week of bodyweight squats, wall push-ups, or light dumbbell rows. Even a 10-minute routine performed at home can make a measurable impact. The key is consistency. The muscle gains don't have to be massive, just enough to revive the cellular pathways that handle glucose. Feel the burn, feel the improvement, and you'll notice that your blood sugar levels stay more balanced throughout the day. Third, embrace the power of fiber. Soluble fiber found in oats, barley, beans, and many fruits forms a gel-like substance in the gut that slows carbohydrate absorption. This blunts the post-meal glucose surge and gives insulin a chance to work efficiently. Add a half cup of oats to your breakfast, sprinkle chia seeds on your yogurt, or enjoy a bowl of lentil soup at lunch. Aim for at least 25 grams of fiber daily. You'll be surprised how many simple swaps can get you there. Now, let's talk about the 4th habit that often flies under the radar: sleep quality. Poor sleep disrupts the hormonal balance that regulates appetite and insulin action. Research shows that sleeping less than 6 hours per night can increase insulin resistance by up to 30%. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted rest. Create a wind-down routine. Dim the lights an hour before bed, avoid screens, and consider a brief meditation or gentle stretching. If you've struggled with sleep, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience and share additional tips. Finally, the 5th and most transformative step: incorporate short, frequent bouts of low-intensity activity throughout the day. Think of it as movement snacks. Standing up, walking to the kitchen, or doing a few minutes of light marching every hour keeps glucose from pooling in the bloodstream. Set a timer for 60 minutes and take a 2-minute walk around the house, or simply rise and stretch. Over the course of a day, these micro movements add up to a significant reduction in blood sugar spikes, and that brings us to the end of the 5 core actions. If this information resonated with you, smash that like button and consider subscribing. Together, we'll keep uncovering the secrets that help seniors thrive. Remember, you have the power to reset your metabolism, one simple habit at a time. But before we wrap up, let's take a moment to explore why these 5 actions work together like a finely tuned orchestra, each instrument playing its part to restore harmony to your metabolic system. Imagine your body as a bustling city.
Insulin is the traffic officer that directs glucose, the fuel, to the cells that need it.
When the officer becomes overwhelmed because of excess sugar, sedentary habits, or hormonal shifts, the traffic lights start flashing red and glucose begins to pile up in the streets, causing congestion and accidents that manifest as inflammation and weight gain. The 5 habits you've just heard about are the strategic interventions that clear the jam, re-educate the officer, and rebuild the roadways so traffic flows smoothly again. First, the morning glucose reset eliminates the sudden surge that would otherwise shout at your insulin receptors, forcing them into a defensive stance. By substituting sugary cream with cinnamon and protein, you give insulin a gentle nudge rather than a harsh shove, allowing receptors to stay responsive. Studies have shown that cinnamon contains polyphenols that activate the peroxisome proliferator activated receptor gamma pathway, essentially turning on the switches that increase glucose transporter expression on cell membranes. The result is a more efficient uptake of glucose without overstimulating the hormone. Second, the fiber infusion acts like a porous barrier that slows the entry of glucose into the bloodstream, preventing the peaks that would otherwise trigger insulin spikes. Soluble fiber forms a gel in the gut, creating a slow release mechanism that mirrors the steady drip of a faucet rather than the sudden gush of a hose. This not only moderates blood sugar, but also feeds beneficial gut bacteria, which in turn produce short-chain fatty acids that have been linked to improved insulin sensitivity. A thriving microbiome becomes an ally, sending chemical signals that reinforce the body's natural ability to manage glucose. Third, the sleep overhaul tackles the hidden nighttime sabotage. During deep restorative sleep, the body releases growth hormone and clears out inflammatory cytokines that have accumulated during waking hours. Lack of sleep, on the other hand, elevates cortisol, a stress hormone that antagonizes insulin's actions and encourages the liver to release more glucose into the circulation. By committing to 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted rest, you give your endocrine system the pause it needs to recalibrate, allowing insulin receptors to reset their sensitivity. Fourth, the movement snacks break the sedentary cycle that often accompanies retirement or reduced mobility. Even low-intensity activity, such as standing, gentle marching, or light housework, activates the muscle pump that draws glucose from the bloodstream into skeletal muscle cells. This continual, modest demand for fuel prevents the blood from becoming a stagnant reservoir of sugar. Over the course of a day, these micro-movements add up to the same metabolic boost you would achieve with a longer, more vigorous session, but without the joint strain that can discourage older adults. Fifth, the protein distribution strategy ensures that every meal contains a source of high-quality protein, which not only supports muscle maintenance, but also blunts post-meal glucose spikes. Amino acids stimulate the release of glucagon-like peptide 1, a hormone that slows gastric emptying and promotes satiety.
By pairing protein with each bite, you create a balanced hormonal response that keeps cravings at bay and stabilizes blood sugar.
Now that you understand the why, let's dive into a few complementary tactics that can accelerate your progress even further. These are not replacements for the core 5, but rather powerful allies that, when combined, can turn a modest improvement into a dramatic transformation. Consider the practice of intermittent fasting, specifically a gentle time-restricted eating window of 12 to 14 hours. By allowing the body a prolonged period without incoming carbohydrates, you give insulin a chance to rest and the liver to replenish its glycogen stores without excess. This fasting period encourages the activation of autophagy, a cellular cleaning process that removes damaged proteins and improves insulin signaling. Start with a modest shift, such as delaying breakfast by an hour or finishing dinner a couple of hours earlier, and observe how your energy levels respond. Stress management is another cornerstone. Chronic psychological stress floods the bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline, both of which antagonize insulin's action and promote abdominal fat storage. Simple techniques, deep diaphragmatic breathing, guided meditation, or even a brief stroll in nature can lower cortisol levels within minutes, If you find yourself caught in a cycle of worry, try the 4-7-8 breathing pattern. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This rhythm signals the parasympathetic nervous system to relax, creating a hormonal environment conducive to insulin sensitivity. Hydration may seem trivial, yet even mild dehydration can impair glucose regulation. When the body lacks adequate water, blood viscosity increases, making it harder for insulin to travel efficiently to its target cells. Aim for a steady intake of water throughout the day, flavored with a slice of lemon or cucumber if plain water feels monotonous. Avoid sugary beverages, which reintroduce the very glucose spikes you're working to eliminate. Micronutrient support can fill hidden gaps that otherwise hinder metabolic health. Magnesium, for instance, acts as a cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which involve glucose metabolism. A deficiency can reduce insulin receptor activity and elevate blood pressure. Incorporate magnesium-rich foods such as leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and black beans, or discuss supplementation with your healthcare provider. Chromium is another trace element that enhances insulin's binding to its receptor, improving glucose uptake. Whole grain foods, broccoli, and cheese provide modest amounts of chromium. Regular monitoring of blood glucose can be an empowering feedback loop. Using a simple fingerstick meter or a continuous glucose monitor, you can observe how different foods and activities affect your numbers in real time. This data-driven approach turns abstract concepts into concrete evidence, reinforcing positive behaviors and guiding adjustments.
If you notice persistent high readings despite following the 5 steps, it may be time to consult a specialist for a deeper evaluation.
Resistance training, even with light resistance bands or bodyweight exercises, adds a potent stimulus for muscle growth. Muscle tissue is the primary sink for glucose. More muscle means a larger reservoir for sugar to be stored safely rather than circulating in the blood. Aim for 2 to 3 sessions per week, focusing on major muscle groups, legs, back, chest, and core. Even 10 minutes per session performed consistently can shift body composition and improve insulin responsiveness. Social connection should not be underestimated. Engaging with peers, whether through walking clubs, cooking groups, or online forums, provides accountability and motivation. Sharing recipes, celebrating small victories, and learning from each other's challenges can sustain the momentum you need to keep these habits alive. If you feel isolated, reach out to a community center or a local senior group. The camaraderie often translates into better adherence and overall well-being. Now, let's address some of the most common questions that pop up when seniors begin this journey. I'll answer them one by one, so feel free to pause, take notes, or jot down any thoughts that arise. Question 1, what if I'm already on medication for blood sugar? Can I still follow these steps? The answer is a resounding yes, but with a caveat. Lifestyle changes can enhance the effectiveness of medication, sometimes allowing dosages to be reduced under medical supervision. It's crucial to keep your physician informed about any new routines, especially if you notice a sudden drop in blood glucose levels. Open communication ensures safety while you reap the benefits of the new habits. Question 2, I have joint pain. Will the movement snacks aggravate my condition? The beauty of low-intensity activity is that it can be tailored to your comfort level. Gentle marching in place, seated leg extensions, or even standing and stretching can keep glucose flowing without placing undue stress on joints. If you experience pain, modify the movement, reduce the duration, or use a sturdy chair for support. The goal is consistent, modest activity, not marathon-level exertion. Question 3, is cinnamon safe for everyone? I've heard it can interact with blood thinners. Cinnamon, when consumed in typical culinary amounts, half a teaspoon per day, is generally safe. However, if you are taking anticoagulant medication, it's wise to discuss any significant dietary changes with your doctor. The key is moderation. A sprinkle adds flavor and metabolic benefit without overwhelming the system. Question 4, I'm a vegetarian. How can I ensure adequate protein at each meal? Plant-based proteins such as lentils, chickpeas, tofu, tempeh, and Greek-style soy yogurt can provide the essential amino acids your muscles need. Pairing grains with legumes, for example, quinoa with black beans, creates a complete protein profile. Including a handful of nuts or seeds adds both protein and healthy fats, supporting satiety and glucose control. Question 5, what if I don't feel any change after a week? Should I keep going? Metabolic adaptations vary from person to person. Some individuals notice increased energy and steadier blood sugar within a few days, while others may require a longer period for the body to recalibrate. Consistency is the linchpin. The cumulative effect of daily habits compounds over time. If after 2 weeks you still feel stagnant, consider reviewing your portion sizes, sleep hygiene, or stress levels. Small tweaks can unlock further progress. Question 6, can alcohol be part of this plan? Alcohol, especially in excess, can cause sudden blood sugar fluctuations and impair liver function. If you choose to drink, limit intake to 1 standard drink per day for women and up to 2 for men, and always pair it with a protein-rich snack to blunt the glucose surge. Opt for dry wines or clear spirits mixed with soda water rather than sugary cocktails. Question 7, how do I stay motivated when progress feels slow? Celebrate micro wins. Maybe you notice that you no longer feel a mid-afternoon dip or your clothes fit a little looser. These subtle signs are evidence of metabolic improvement. Keep a journal of your daily routine, noting mood, energy, and any physical changes. Seeing a written record of consistency can be a powerful motivator, especially on days when enthusiasm wanes. Now that we've explored the deeper science, additional tools, and answered your pressing questions, let's circle back to the core promise at the heart of this video. You have the power to reverse insulin resistance, to reclaim the vitality that sometimes feels out of reach after 60. By implementing the 5 foundational habits: morning glucose reset, fiber infusion, sleep optimization, movement snacks, and balanced protein, you lay a solid foundation. By layering on intermittent fasting, stress reduction, hydration, micronutrient support, resistance training, and social connection, you create a robust, multidimensional defense that not only combats insulin resistance, but also supports overall health, cognitive function, and emotional well-being. Before we close, I'd like to offer a simple 3-day action plan to help you transition from knowledge to practice. Day 1, rewrite your breakfast. Swap that sugary coffee cream for black coffee, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a boiled egg. Add a half cup of oats with chia seeds to your bowl. Set a reminder to stand up and stretch every hour. Day 2, focus on dinner. Fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables, a quarter with lean protein, perhaps grilled fish or tofu, and the remaining quarter with a small serving of whole grains. Dim the lights an hour before bedtime, turn off screens, and practice a 5-minute breathing exercise. Day 3, integrate a short resistance routine. Use a resistance band to perform 10 seated rows, 10 leg extensions, and 10 shoulder presses, each in 2 sets. Finish the day with a brief walk around the house, setting a timer to remind you to move every 60 minutes. If you follow this mini plan, you'll already have 3 days of momentum, a psychological boost that makes the next week feel less daunting. Remember, the journey is built on tiny steps, not giant leaps. I'd love to hear how these strategies work for you. Drop a comment below describing the first habit you'll adopt, or share a success story if you've already experienced improvement. Your experience could inspire someone else watching right now, creating a ripple effect of healthier choices across our community. If this information resonated with you, give the video a thumbs up to let the platform know that you found value in these tips. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and tapping the notification bell so you won't miss future episodes where we dive deeper into nutrition, movement, and longevity for seniors. Together, we'll keep uncovering the secrets that help you thrive no matter the age. Finally, remember that every cell in your body is listening. By feeding it the right signals, steady glucose, ample fiber, restorative sleep, gentle movement, and balanced protein, you become the conductor of a symphony that plays the melody of health. The notes may start soft, but with persistence, they swell into a powerful, harmonious composition that reverberates through every aspect of your life. Thank you for joining me today. Stay curious, stay kind to yourself, and keep moving forward, one simple habit at a time. Until next time, take care and enjoy the journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you.